Turns out America is number one, but in total number of prisoners, total number of rapes, costliest healthcare.
I think I had to have been sometime in early high school when I started to realize that, the slogan and the mantra of America's number one was just that, a slogan and a mantra. Really, that somehow implies that Americans are more intelligent and more capable than everybody else. But that, of course, intrinsically doesn't make any sense because Americans are just people from everywhere else. You know, the original inhabitants of this nation were almost entirely wiped out, and therefore, pretty much everybody here is somehow from some other country, whether that be Africa, whether that be Europe, whether that be South America, Central America. It's a melting pot. That's the whole idea. And so, again, you look at things like healthcare, so much of the rest of the world has universal healthcare that's paid for, through taxes in some form or fashion to where people aren't going broke. People aren't going bankrupt just because they have to get some type of procedure done. But in the United States, we just reversed Roe v. Wade, which we've had, standing for 50 years. So while the rest of the world is going forward, we're actively going backwards in multiple areas, one of them being healthcare.
School shootings per day, per week, per month, per year, and per decade, fetal mortality, weapons export, mental illness, and number of citizens in debt.
I mean, practically everything about America's socioeconomic system is a trap in one way or another. I mean, let's look at the education system. It still primarily trains people for office jobs that are more and more disappearing, that were disappearing long before 2020, simply because having people at home made a lot more sense, or because, office supplies were going out of business, or just because people in general aren't staying at one job for 20 or 30 years. The gig economy is becoming more and more real. Contractual opportunities are becoming more and more real. Our instant connectivity is giving people the opportunities to become entrepreneurs and small business owners like never before. So again, our education system doesn't even prepare people for where the modern job market is, let alone for where it's going. And then we're, straddled with nearly $2 trillion worth of student loan debt and a system that continues to just get more and more expensive for people to attend these universities for degrees that primarily don't prepare them for the job market whatsoever. So that's another easy example of how America is not number one.
America, the United States, is
Greatest nation on earth.
Not quite, but here are three ways America is number one. The United States far and away spends the most money on its military, $801 billion. That's more than China, India, the UK, Russia, France, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Japan, South Korea, and Israel combined. USA prison population, 2,217,000. And now you may be like, wait, America has a lot of people, so of course they have a lot of people in prison. Sorry to tell you, but America is number one in the percentage of its population in prison as well. Over 11.5 million barrels of black gold, baby. And in the face of high gas prices, production's predicted to go up even more by year's end. So, USA?
And look, if America was really number one, then we wouldn't have so many people in prison, many of whom don't deserve to be there, many of whom just simply got caught up maybe with a couple ounces of weed and they didn't have the money to afford an attorney or lawyers, so they got thrown in jail just because they could get thrown in there. And I've told the story before of, just a couple years ago, I got pulled over and I was speeding and they tried to get me for drunk driving, even though I blew a 0.02 times in the breathalyzer test. But if I didn't have the money to pay for a lawyer, then I would have had a DWI on my record, even though I blew a 0.02 times. Because that's how our law enforcement system works. It preys on people who don't have the means to defend themselves. And for people who do have the means to defend themselves, they can just bail out real quick or purchase the best attorneys. And then, of course, the people at the very top of society, the white collar criminals who are robbing everybody blind through banking schemes or who are putting all these wars forth and killing millions and hundreds of thousands of people just so that, defense contractors can, get their comeuppance and so they can get their fix. That's all it's really about. So if America was really number one, then none of that would be the case. We would have a government that worked for the people, and we would have a system that actually prepared its populace, not just for the present, but also that moves us actively towards the future.